Hi, I'm Kim Newcomb, CEO of Go Virtuality. Our business was first inspired by students not being able to go on holiday because they simply cannot afford it. However, with new technology in this modern world, it is possible not to only virtually see the real world in 3D with goggles, but now you can physically walk around the streets or open land of your most desired places, while fixed in one position with Go Virtuality at your closest campus. It would be as if you are really there. Have you ever wanted to see the Grand Canyon? Then Go Virtuality. Perhaps it's the Great Pyramids of Giza in Egypt that has interested you, but with current affairs it is not possible to see them. Well, now it is possible with Go Virtuality. There's the Great Wall of China, the Taj Mahal, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Many people live their life not visiting one of these famous landmarks, but with Go Virtuality you can visit them all with a much lower cost and much less time. If you wanted to go and see a famous landmark, you don't have to spend hundreds or thousands to see it for a week. You can spend a much smaller cost see it as long as you choose. The world at your doorstep. We are taking Go Virtuality around the country, ensuring everybody can have this experience.
With all successful businesses, we need to get to know the audience we're trying to reach. The best way of doing this was to send out a market survey to determine the answers to the questions we had. For instance, whether or not the participant was a student, to which destinations they would find most preferable, if this person would like to bring any of their friends along, and most importantly, whether they thought this was a good idea. The data we collected indicates the areas we should address, as the destinations of Times Square, Niagara Falls, Machu Picchu and Christ the Redeemer were by far the most requested, with 65% of people who answered this survey choosing one of those four locations. As this product will be available mainly on university campuses, it makes sense for it to be aimed at students, and the data gathered backs this up, with 59% of people who completed this survey admitting to being a current student. When being asked, if you could, how many friends would you enjoy this experience with, other than the answer of 0, there's a pretty even fluctuation of results, but the average came out to just below 3. We therefore decided to have 4 machines ready to use. Finally, for the last question, we found that 86% of students would bring their friends to use this product.
After gaining an insight into popular travel destinations amongst students using our market survey, a dataset called Travel Pack was obtained comprising of datasets from the International Passenger Survey. From the data, averages are obtained of all 10 countries we had included in our market survey, and data mining techniques such as clustering and principal component analysis were used in order to gain an insight into related countries and those with similar travel habits. Initially, cluster analysis was performed on the 10 countries in order to see which countries were closely related. The analysis revealed that China and Peru had a similarity level of 94%, and both countries were also related to India, Canada, Egypt, Jordan, Brazil, and China other. This led to the formation of the first subgroup. The second subgroup was formed of the USA and Italy. From the data, it was clear that similarities in Group 2 come from a high number of visits made to each country in comparison to other countries. Therefore, we consider using the locations in Group 2 as limited edition. We then clustered the number of visits and the amount spent to draw further analysis from the dataset. By clustering these two variables, we can see that Brazil and Peru are very similar, so we'd expect very similar amounts of people interested in visiting these countries. This can also be said for India, China, Canada, Egypt, and China other. Therefore, we would not profit from making these countries limited edition, and so these locations would be made available at all times through Go Virtuality. Although both Jordan and USA have reasonably high spend, out of the two, only the USA should be used as a limited edition location, as it has the second highest number of visits and the highest spend. As well as this, it is clear that Italy should also be made a limited edition location, as it has the highest number of visits in Q3 2015. In order to draw further analysis from the data, principal component analysis was used. Factor analysis was conducted on 3 separate variables: visits, nights, and spend. From the squee plot, we can see that the number of visits explains a large amount of the variation in our dataset in comparison to the nights and spend. This means the biggest variant in the dataset is visits, which supports our cluster analysis and how we obtained our limited edition destinations. From our loading plot, we can see that the nights and visits both had a positive effect of about 0.6, whereas spend had a negative effect of around 0.5. This again supports our decision to base limited edition destinations on the number of people who visit them, providing validity for our choices.
Are you looking for a new business project, something new and fresh to introduce to the market? Then Go Virtuality is what you need. What's on your bucket list? For most people, there's a trip abroad on there somewhere, yet it's not always something that's a reachable goal, whether this be to finances or time restraints. Go Virtuality gives you the chance to look around some of the most spectacular sites for £20, which is why it's perfect for students, our initial audience. We need an initial investment of £20,000 and a loan of £15,000 at 13% per annum interest rate. These funds will cover startup costs including software, office space and transport. Following market research, we are expecting initial bookings of 900 bookings in our first month, September, increasing by 150 each month. From this, our break-even point is at 946 bookings, something predicted to be met within the first 2 months. As our initial investment and loan is paid in September, we make a profit in the first month. The remaining startup expenses are paid out in the following month, October. We decided that because our business follows the academic year, we expect bookings to be low in December, and therefore decided to close over the Christmas period. However, keeping open for Christmas, including limited edition Christmas experiences, is something we would consider in our future plans. Because of no bookings in December, we make a loss in January, but this soon picks back up.
As the business becomes more recognised and as the demand will go up, there will be much more need for supply. Therefore, to begin with, we'll have more trucks and more equipment, and then as the business grows, we'll be able to open up branches around the country for more permanent base for customers to go to. For events such as Halloween for the thrill seekers, there will be an apocalypse event where you are virtually in one, and during the Christmas period we will organise events such as going to Lapland with an extra feature of a tempered room to match your surroundings for an extra experience. Furthermore, during the month of August, when most students go home or work, there are the school holidays for younger children, which we then shall have an education and fun experience for them.
We predict that our sales revenue will continue to increase over time as we implement the future plans Kim has just mentioned. Using the additional revenue generated, we plan to buy trucks in our second year, including an extra truck and therefore more equipment. In our third year, we budgeted £450,000 to buy an industrial space in Nottingham to set a base open all year round. Our profit is continually growing, so there is a gap in the market. Can you really afford not to take this opportunity? Then Go Virtuality, the world at your doorstep.